Yeah. Yeah, she said.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Good morning. I'd call back to order the hearing on the docket we were on. The time is 9, we'll call it 9:01 a.m. The date is December 4th, 2025. The commission and its staff are appearing from Three Forks, Montana at the Three Forks Ambulance Facility. This is day number 2 of the scheduled public hearing on docket number 2025-01-012 involving the L&L's application for a Class D certificate of public convenience and necessity. Joining me this morning is Commissioner Bukasek, and I will first ask for, is there any public commenters in the room? Seeing none. Katie, are there any online?
No.
All right. I would note that this, seeing that there's no further public comment, we'll resume the hearing. I will note that this session is being recorded and all comments will be public record, so please do not include confidential or private information in those comments. Before we get started, do we want to take care of these little housekeeping matters? Because neither party objected to the other's exhibits. All exhibits are admitted into evidence. Fair enough. Okay. And as agreed upon yesterday, I think we were going to start the day with your last witness, correct?
That's correct.
So would you call your next witness, Ms. Garrett, please?
L&L calls Jim Everhard of Bridger Brewing.
We'll just swear up in hand. Right. Just hang tough, Mr. Everhard. We just got to swear you in. Sure. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear that the testimony you are about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth? I do. Thank you. Welcome. Ms. Garrett.
Thank you. Good morning, Jim. How are you?
I'm good.
Can you state and spell your name for the court reporter, please?
Yeah, my true name is James Neal Everhart.
You spelled the last name.
E-B-E-R-H-A-R-T.
Where do you live, Jim?
I presently live with my parents in Belgrade, but I have my permanent address and home is in Manhattan.
And where do you work?
I work at Bridger Brewing.
And how long have you worked there?
Well, I'm one of the owners, so since the founding of it, so it would be right 13 years now.
Are there 2 locations, Bridger
There
Brewing?
is.
Where are they?
One's in Bozeman on South 11th, and the other is off of 287.
Who provides garbage service to the Bridger Brewing in Three Forks off 287?
Republic,
And what about the one in Bozeman?
Republic.
How many containers do you have at the Three Forks location?
We have one during the summer when we have shows and different events. We'll often have two.
And do you get recycling services from Republic as well?
We do not. No, we had to shop them because they're pretty expensive.
How long has that location in Three Forks been up and running?
About 3 years.
Have you used Republic for garbage hauling since the beginning then?
Yes.
How often is the garbage picked up at the Three Forks?
It's a week.
Have you experienced any service delays out there at the Three Forks location?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Generally, I just receive text messages both in Bozeman and in Three Forks stating that there'll be a delay.
And how often does that happen in either location?
Well, you can go periods without it happening, and then you can go periods where it's, quite frequent.
Did you have a spell of those this summer?
I did, yes.
And how many delayed services?
I didn't go through my text, but I would say vaguely remember probably around 6.
Okay. And when you get a text notifying you of a delay in your service from Republic, how long does that delay typically last?
It's usually 1 to 2 days. It seems like I don't necessarily run out the back door and check to see if it got picked up the next day, but it's usually 1 to 2 days.
And do you always get notified of delays? Does Republic always notify you in advance of anticipated service delays?
They do. They do, unless it's like a driver incident where, they decide they don't pick it up because of some condition, whether it be snow or something. Then often I don't care. We just get a delay.
Have you experienced that as well, where the driver has been unable to complete the pickup or something?
Oh, yeah.
How often does that happen?
In Bozeman, I'll speak to the Bozeman location. The Three Forks location is very easy to access, and so that's really not an issue there. In Bozeman, it has become a problem. If all the snow and ice isn't perfect, the driver will just drive on, won't pick it up.
For both locations, do you get an explanation with those service delay texts as to why your service is delayed?
Not unless I call.
Okay. And have you called before?
Yes.
Okay. And what kind of explanations have you been given?
Usually they try and go back to the driver to find out what the explanation is. So usually it'll be anything from a vehicle being there, which is understandable, to a bump of ice or snow.
When you experience those service delays, does that impact the business at all?
Well, it's been 13 years, so there's been quite a few instances of I can't remember the exact details to the instances, but just where our garbage is overflowing, and I'm frustrated.
Do you have to spend time trying to resolve those service delays with Republic?
Yes.
And how long does that usually take for you to actually call and deal with that issue?
Well, I used to have a rep. I don't have a rep anymore. And so I'm usually just calling the main office, and whatever it takes for them to find out. It could be, again, it's vague. I don't remember exactly, but it could be, it could take a day to find out.
So when you say you used to have a rep, you used to have a local representative?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I signed up my services in Bozeman. Yeah.
Do you remember who that representative was?
I don't. I might be, if you need me to, I can probably look on my phone. I still have their contact sheet.
But you had contact information for a person available locally with
I
Republic?
did.
Okay.
I did.
And you don't have that anymore?
No. Do not.
Okay. Do you know when that person left or when that stopped being available?
I don't.
Okay, that's okay. When you have to spend time resolving these service issues with Republic, do you feel like Republic respects your time in that exchange?
Well, I mean, it's a little tough, you know, to say that. But I think what you're getting at is I feel like I'm kind of just a cog in the wheel. I'm not feeling like I'm getting personalized customer service.
And so when you contact Republic's customer service, are you calling is it a 1-800 number or is it a local number?
I think it's a 1888.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. What is that process like when you call that number?
I mean, again, it's a little vague for me, but I just call it basically a 800 number and go through their process. I don't really recall what that process is like.
Do you always actually speak with a human? when you
Yes,
call?
I
Okay.
do.
Okay. In your opinion, has Republic's customer service improved in Three Forks since Bridger Brewing opened there?
I just don't have anything to measure it against. You know, I don't have anything to measure it against, so.
Are you satisfied, Jim, with the price that you pay Republic for the garbage service they actually provide?
Well, I mean, if I had something to compare it to, I think I could answer that. I can't answer that when I don't know any other option. It is the price.
Do you support L&L's application to provide garbage service in that portion of Broadwater County?
I do, because I believe in competition and choice. So yes,
You'd like to have another rate to compare?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I have no further questions for this witness.
Thank you. Does Republic have any questions for the witness?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, Mr. Everhart.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
My name is Aaron Nicholson. I'm an attorney that represents Allied Waste Services doing business as Republic.
Okay,
Mr. Everhart, you said you were one of the co-owners of Bridger Brewing.
correct.
And Bridger Brewing's Three Forks facility is located right off of exit 274 off of Interstate 90, correct?
284.
284? Oh, thank you. And that's the
I mean,
same,
287, excuse me.
287?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the same exit as the Wheat, Montana exit? For the Three Forks.
Oh, the
facility.
highway exit, excuse me. I'm thinking my building, but yes.
Yeah, so just to clarify, I'm referring to the actual Three Forks facility.
Yes.
Okay, okay. And that's the same exit as the Wheat, Montana exit?
Correct.
Okay. And as I believe you testified, Bridger uses Republic for its garbage services at the Three Forks facility, correct?
It does.
And Bridger Brewing has a weekly garbage service that is scheduled for a specific day at the Three Forks facility, correct?
Correct.
And would you say, generally speaking, that whenever the garbage is set out on the day that it's to be picked up, that Republic generally picks it up on its scheduled day? And other than, and again, talking about the Three Forks facility, other than occasional disruptions for bad weather, Republic has never actually refused to provide garbage service for the Three Forks facility, correct? And other than for temporary weather-related disruptions, Republic has never told you they would not serve you, correct? And other than for temporary weather-related issues, Republic has never missed an extended period of pickups, correct?
Extended period.
Yeah, so they haven't, for example, missed like 3 weeks in a row of
Yeah,
service?
I mean, no, never missed like 3 weeks.
And you talked a little bit about some occasional disruptions. And you can understand if there's a vehicle parked in front of the
Absolutely.
the garbage can, it could be difficult for the driver to
Absolutely.
pick it up, correct? Okay. And that would not be the fault of Republic, right?
No.
And in those instances where Republic is unable to pick up the garbage can, it sounds like you do receive a text message from Republic notifying you of that, correct?
Not when they're driver incidents. I do not. When it's something that's scheduled, the delay is scheduled, then I do. So if you guys are aware of it, but if it's a driver incident, no, I do not. Go ahead.
And but it sounds like when you do receive a text message, it sounds like Republic is able to schedule a timely pickup the next day. Is that accurate?
Well, it happens a lot. And so I would say it is scheduled to be the next day. But I've had a number of instances where I have piles of garbage that are just birds are getting into because there's delay.
Is that
And so that you're saying 24 hours every time. And what I'm saying is over 13 years, by no means has it been perfectly picked up 24 hours later.
is this for the Three Forks location?
Nope, that's for Bozeman.
Have you, and I'm referring to the Three Forks location, have you had any of those instances at the Three Forks location where Republic has failed to provide its weekly service that you have paid for?
Not that I can remember or I am aware of, yes. My history with Bozeman is that I was the manager there, every day for the first 8 years. Now I'm managing both, so I'm not there. I have general managers in both locations that deal with a lot of the issues, so.
And when issues do pop up, you are able to actually talk to representatives from from Republic, correct?
Correct.
And they're able to talk with you and identify potential issues, for example, if there was a driver issue or something like that, correct?
They are.
And so you're able to talk to them through text message and through just regular telephone call, correct?
Correct.
And they're able to give you an explanation as to the reason for the delay usually?
Usually.
Mr. Eberhard, thank you for your time, sir. I have no further questions for you.
Okay. Okay.
I did have a brief follow-up.
Yep.
I have a couple of questions quickly. Okay.
Good morning.
Two questions. One of them, you said that there were get texts when there's scheduled delays. What does that mean, a scheduled delay? Be the circumstances for.
Well, sometimes they'll say due to a holiday. And then other times it'll be, I don't know what would be the word they would use, just something saying it, due to unforeseen circumstances, and don't quote me on that, it's something like that.
Okay. Okay. And the other thing is, I think you said all the issues with delays and all the problems with garbage piling up, that was all with the postal location.
It is, yeah.
None of, okay.
Well, I'm not saying it doesn't happen in Three Forks, but I can't speak to it as well because my general manager generally deals with that stuff, so
Okay, so you just don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, thank you. That's all. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Questions? And I have none.
Jim, I just want to clarify, I think Mr. Nicholson implied that these delays were weather related in the winter time. I thought that you testified that there was an incident where there were 6 times one summer.
Yeah, just last summer.
Okay, and tell me about that.
Again, that's I have texts, saying that due to, I believe it's unforeseen circumstances. And it's, I think to the service, I mean, with garbage, it's, it's nice to receive a text, but it's not like there's anything I can do about my garbage. A text doesn't allow me to bring in a separate service to pick up the garbage, It just sits there and the birds get into it. I'm at the mercy of whatever the delay is.
I have no further questions for this.
Yes.
He can be excused.
Apparently. You can be.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yes,
Jim.
sir.
Jim, if you wouldn't mind signing in at the front table up there, that'd be great.
Do you have any? Just,
Please confirm with Lance real quick, but I think.
of course, we can. No, I don't do it. Yeah, okay. Well, and we, yeah.
Just grab. I think we'll have no further witnesses at this time.
Are you, would you like to rest your case in chief?
Eleanor rests its case in chief.
Thank you. Mr. Forcella Nicholson, you may proceed with your case in chief.
Thank you, Mr. President. Republic will call Mr. Ryan Kaufman to testify, and he was sworn in yesterday.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Kaufman. Can you please state your name?
Ryan Kaufman, R-Y-A-N, Kaufman, C-A-F-F-N.
And Mr. Kaufman, where do you live, sir?
I live in Billings, Montana.
Who is your employer?
Republic Services.
And what is your current position with Republic?
I'm the municipal manager for Montana.
And approximately how long has Republic been providing Class D service in Broadwater County?
Decades.
And can you generally describe the nature of Republic's service in the county?
Yeah, so Republic Services provides all lines of business in Broadwater County. That means residential service, so like the carts you see in front of houses, commercial service, the steel bins that Jim has with like Richard Brewing, and then roll-off services like you would see at construction sites, ranging from 20 yards all the way up to 40 yards, 10 yards as well.
Ryan, how would you describe Republic's commitment to serving all the residents of Broadwater County?
We take Broadwater County's service very, very seriously. We treat it as a duty and a responsibility to the residents of the county.
Ryan, were you present for the hearing yesterday?
I was.
And were you present for the testimony of Mr. Jeff Langford, who's the owner of Outlaw Woodworks?
I was.
And did you hear Mr. Langford's testimony about billing inconsistencies?
I did. Yes.
Following Mr. Langford's testimony yesterday, were you able to review Republic's billing history for Outlaw Woodworks?
I was able to look at the invoice.
Mr. President, permission to approach the witness? I'm handing the witness what has been marked for identification as Exhibit G. Mr. Kaufman, have you seen this document before?
I have.
And what is this document?
This is the invoice history for Outlaw Woodworks.
And where did this invoice history document come from?
This is generated in Salesforce.
What is Salesforce?
Salesforce is the app or is the software that our sales team and I use on a daily basis.
And can you generally explain how Republic's billing system creates invoice histories like this document?
So in Salesforce, it ties the invoice to their account monthly, and then you can see a reconciliation going back for a while on the invoices.
And is the information contained in this invoice history recorded at or near the time that each monthly invoice is issued?
Yes, it's posted within a few days after the end of the previous month.
And is this invoice history kept in the ordinary course of Republic's business?
It is.
And is it Republic's regular business practice to create and maintain records like this?
It is, yes.
And is this document a true and accurate copy of the invoice history for Outlaw Woodworks for the last 10 months?
It is, yes.
Mr. President, at this time we would move to admit Exhibit G as a rebuttal exhibit to Mr. Langford's testimony yesterday.
L&L objects lack of completeness. Mr. Langford testified that he's had service with Republic for a number of years at the property at Outlaw Woodworks. If we're going to allow a delayed admission of an exhibit like this, with pricing information, we'd need the whole history. I don't believe there was an implication by Mr. Langford that, if this is a rebuttal exhibit, I don't believe there was an implication by Mr. Langford that the very charges across his invoices was limited to the last 10 months.
If the public may respond. Mr. Langford's testimony was yesterday was that there had been recent billing inconsistencies. This exhibit G is the 10-month billing history showing the total amounts billed over the last 10 months. And it directly rebuts his testimony saying that there have been inconsistencies. Republic is able to present rebuttal evidence to, again, rebut that testimony.
And I would just request that we, or the commission consider reviewing Mr. Langford's actual testimony about that issue. Because it could be that he said recent, but I don't recall that. I don't think there was a qualification in his testimony.
Overruled. So again, Mr. President, this time we would move to have what has been marked for identification as Exhibit G entered into evidence. Mr. Kaufman, can you generally explain what information this invoice history record contains?
This just contains the monthly invoices of the total amount that was billed to the customer for each date that they had services provided on.
And in looking at the total amounts column over the last 10 months, generally, what does the invoice show?
It just shows the amount ranging from, I mean, it's less than $1 change in pricing over that 10-month time.
And over the last 10-month period, can you generally identify what was the lowest total amount and then what would have been the highest total amount?
Looking here, I think it's 101.52 and then 102.47. So my math is less than, I think less than.
And based on the information in this invoice history, how would you describe the consistency of the monthly invoice amounts to Outlaw Woodworks?
Looking at this exhibit, I would say it's very consistent.
No further questions for this witness.
Thank you.
Oh, I mean cross, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you have questions for the witness?
I do.
One moment, counsel.
Sure. Mr. Kaufman, you testified that you are the municipal manager for Republic Services, is that correct?
I did, yes.
We also, is it municipal and government affairs
Yes,
manager?
it is.
So did your title change at some point?
Nope, it didn't change.
Okay. So what's your full title?
Municipal manager and government relations manager.
Oh, it's government affairs or government
Government affairs
relations?
manager.
Okay. In your time in that position, have you attended any Broadwater County Commission meetings?
Recently, no, I haven't, but yes, I have in the last 5 years.
Well, how long have you been in that position? It's municipal and government affairs.
2.5 years.
2.5 years? Okay, and what was your position prior to that?
Territory sales rep.
And was Broadwater County part of your sales
It was not.
territory?
No.
So when would you have attended a Broadwater County Commission meeting?
Objection outside the scope of direct examination.
Well, he's a municipal and government affairs manager, so I think it's relevant to his position.
Sustain will allow it. You will allow the testimony.
So is the objections overruled? When was the last time you went to a Broadwater County Commission meeting?
It would be in the last couple of years, but I don't recall.
Okay, so you said 5 years first, right?
Yep.
Okay, so last 5 years or last couple of years?
Well, I was in the role for the last 2.5 years. I've been with the company for about 5 years, so I would say it would be within the last 2.5 years, but I don't recall exactly when it was.
And who were the commissioners when you went to that meeting?
I don't recall.
Have you ever met with them in person?
I have not.
You can't identify any of the current commissioners.
No.
And Republic doesn't have any contracts, government contracts.
We do not have any more government contracts within the city, within Broadwater County.
And no, attend any public meetings in Broadwater County in the last year?
I have not.
What government affairs or municipal affairs do you manage with respect to Broadwater County?
Currently, because we do not have any government contracts within the area, I don't manage.
Want to talk about Mr. Langford's invoice history here that you pulled. How long is Mr. Langford, you pulled his invoice history through what system did you say?
It's through software for Salesforce.
And is there a record of how long Mr. Langford has been a customer of Republic? In that,
I'm
when you
sure
pulled
that-
that?
Say that again, I apologize.
When you pulled this record last night, I assume, you pulled this record last night?
I did.
Okay. And did it show how long Mr. Langford has been a customer of Republic Services?
It does show, but not under this portion.
What, is there a different portion?
There's just a different screen that's connected to that says that.
Okay, well, it looks like it's cut off. It says show 10 entries. Looks like you could show more entries, right?
You could, yes.
Okay, but you just chose the last 10 months.
It was just with what was on screen.
Okay, why didn't you choose more entries?
That was what the default is set at, is at 10 entries.
Is there a max entry?
I'm sure there is, I don't know what it is.
Do you use the software often?
Yeah.
How often?
At least weekly, daily, depending on what the account number is or what the municipal contract is.
So you could have shown more entries, but you chose not to.
I didn't choose it, that's just what it was defaulted at.
Well, why didn't you select more?
I just pulled up the screen, that was it.
What screen?
The reconciliation screen, which is what you're seeing a copy of.
Okay, so explain that to me. What's a reconciliation screen?
It's just a picture, a display of their invoices. Which you're seeing here.
And how many, I assume this show 10 entries, does it increase by increments or is it single numbers?
I'm not sure, I don't know.
How often do you use this software?
I use it daily.
Okay.
I don't know if it can go by one, but I'm not sure. I don't want to say something I'm not sure about.
What's, it looks like there's a piece cut off on the bottom. Do you see that?
Down here on the bottom left side.
Yes.
Yep,
What does that say?
I have no clue. I can't read it.
Mr. Kaufman. Mr. Langford testified yesterday that he's been using Republic Services since 2004. Do you remember that? Why not just pull his whole billing history?
I just pulled the screen up and this is what it had on there, and I just took a screenshot of that.
But you could have pulled more.
Yes,
And you have the ability to look at his record of his complaints that he may have made, correct?
under a different portion of the software, yes,
And also any notes in his account.
yes.
And you haven't provided those here today?
No.
Okay. I have no further questions for this witness.
Question from
No, sir.
Rick?
No further questions from Mr. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You may be excused.
Actually, be up there. Okay.
This witness can be permanently excused.
Yes, yes. Witness permanently excused. You may call your next witness.
Thank you, Mr. President. Republic calls Bruce Wright. Mr. Wright was not sworn in yesterday.
Okay. Mr. Wright, please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Come on, Bruce. Good morning. Can you please state your name and then spell it for the court reporter?
Bruce Wright, B-R-U-C-E, Wright, W-R-I-G-H-T,
And Bruce, where do you live?
Livingston, Montana,
Okay. And where do you work?
Republic Services,
Okay. How long have you worked for Republic?
about 10 years.
All right. What's your current position?
Operations manager,
Okay. And where operations manager for
the Bozeman location, or Bozeman division.
Bozeman division?
Yes.
Okay. Does that Bozeman division include Broadwater County?
Yes.
Can you just generally describe your responsibilities as Republic's operations manager in Bozeman?
Yes. Hiring, regulatory compliance, DOT compliance, safety training, those sort of things.
Okay. Is it fair to say as the operations manager that you sort of oversee that hauling division?
It is, yes.
Okay. As part of your responsibilities, do you help plan routes and reroutes?
I do, yes.
Do you address staffing and other resource needs?
I do, yes.
Okay. How, through your work with Republic, how familiar have you become with the operational aspects of Republic's Class D services in the hauling division?
I'm familiar with that.
During your time with Republic, are you aware whether Republic has made any operational commitments to serve customers in Broadwater County?
We have resources out there, whether it's equipment, trained personnel, we're committed to serve out in Broadwater.
Okay. What type of commitments has Republic made to serve the customers in Broadwater County?
We've hired, we've done safety training. We have any and all resources committed to Broadwater.
Okay. When you've got customers out there, I understand there may be not just you and your hauling division, there may be other employees that Republic has as well.
Yes, correct.
Do those employees that you supervise, do their responsibilities include sort of communications with customers and?
They can, yes.
I think, were you here earlier this morning for Ryan Kaufman's testimony? Did you hear anything?
Yes.
Okay. Do you agree about his general understanding of Republic's current operations so, throughout Broadwater County?
Yes.
what is your, within the scope of your position, what's your familiarity with Republic's operational resources as a larger company?
We have lots of resources, 42 states. We have equipment resources throughout the country, employee resources throughout the country.
Okay. Bruce, you weren't present for testimony yesterday, though, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. The next couple of questions I want to discuss with you about commission heard about the growth of the population in Broadwater County. I'll represent to you that yesterday the commission received evidence from the U.S. Census Bureau that between 2010 and 2020, the population of Broadwater County grew by around 1,100 people. And the population of Wheatland Census District, so that's sort of in the south portion of Broadwater County, grew by about 500 people. Do you have any reason to doubt that that's true? No. Okay. Also, yesterday, L&L suggested that for the purpose of estimating customers, a garbage hauler could divide the total number of people in an area by 4, and that might be a rough way of measuring how many households are in the area. Does this sound like a reasonable way of estimating customers? Okay. So based on those two things, in the 10 years between 2010 and 2020, if Broadwater County grew by around 1,000 people, that means what, approximately 250 new customers?
Yes.
Somewhere around there. And that's again a reasonable estimate for planning purposes.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't schedule garbage trucks, so can you help us understand what does that mean for hauling purposes? How many trucks does it take to serve 1,000 people, 250 new customers?
It just depends on the density.
Okay.
If it's, high density area or a rural area, it just kind of depends, but 250 customers, maybe a truck.
Maybe a truck?
Maybe one, at least one for sure, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why do you say maybe a truck? How can you have less than a truck?
If 250 customers, kind of depending on if it's a residential neighborhood, size of containers, you can put, depending on the size, up to 400 containers on and still be weight compliant.
Okay, and so when you're talking about 400 containers in this case, we're talking about sort of the 96-gallon cans that most residential customers would have?
Yes.
Okay. Does it take that one truck all week to do those 400 containers, or how long would it take?
Depending on the density, if it's a high density area, 400 cans, you're talking 4 or 5 hours maybe.
Okay, so less than 1 day's worth of truck driving time.
Yes.
Okay. In the way you're framing the variables here, would Wheatland qualify as a sort of a higher density area?
Yes.
Okay. So make sure I've got this. In the course of a 10-year period, the entire growth of Broadwater County adds less than 1 sort of truck day of need. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. How about for commercial customers? Is it the same math?
No, it's going to kind of depend on, again, density, size of containers. Obviously, you can't put that many containers on a commercial vehicle. You're looking at probably 50 to 100 containers, depending on the size.
Okay.
So that could be more trucks.
Okay. So let's take the same census data then. We say there's 250 new customers, but now all of them are commercial customers.
Okay.
It sounds like the entire growth of Broadwater County needs now somewhere between what, 3 to 5 truck days?
Yes.
So still 1 truck, just now a week's worth of work for 1 truck.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. If this is, I'm asking you to consider what the potential impacts would be if Broadwater County suddenly gained another 1,000 people and 250 customers tomorrow. Would Republic currently have the resources in your hauling division to provide residential service for those 250 customers?
Absolutely. Drivers and equipment. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. How about if all of those 250 customers also decided they were going to open a business at their house and now they need a commercial container as well? What? Absolutely.
Yeah, we have the containers, trucks, and personnel to.
Okay. Is it willing to do so?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Bruce, L&L's staff, I think, talked a little yesterday about service issues, and we heard some comments earlier today about a commercial shipper, not in Broadwater County, but elsewhere, talking about service issues. How does Republic evaluate its own performance on service issues?
Obviously, the goal is zero to service, every customer. Realistically, that's just difficult where we're at here in Montana with weather and just location of things due to weather. But currently, goal is zero. Currently, we're at 12 misses per 10,000 customers. Right now, as of November, last month, we're sitting at that. Obviously, the goal is zero. I think that puts us at 99 point.
89 by the sound of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So well over 99% success.
Correct.
And for those 12 customers, you're still seeking to make it right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So we have customers call in for, customers are passionate about their trash. So customers call in, say, hey, I think I was missed today, or a worry call, so that still counts.
Okay.
Against the hauling division as a miss, so we'll look that up. Over half of those drivers have documented pictures of the customers not being out, but regardless of that, we still go back to service those customers.
Okay, so just to make sure we've all got this, those 12 what we're calling misses or service issues, those includes the times when customers forget to put their trash out?
Yes, we're all human. People get busy, but yes.
I've got no further questions for you this time. The L&L may and the commission may.
The witness may now be cross-examined. Do you have questions for this witness?
I do. See how far I get. Morning, Mr. Wright. My name is Allie Garrett. I'm the attorney for L&L Site Services.
Morning, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Are you new to the Bozeman area, or how long have you been here?
I've been here for 10 years.
Okay. And have you worked for Republic for that time period?
Yes, I have.
Well, lucky you. This is the first time you've been to one of these here.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
We lucky to be here today.
Are you familiar with the equipment that Republic uses in Broadwater County?
Yes.
Okay. And did you assist with responding to discovery requests, specifically the equipment in Broadwater County in this action?
Excuse me, can you?
Well, so we submit discovery requests to each other in these matters, and then we hopefully provide the information in response. I don't recall off the top of my head whether you were identified as an individual that assisted with producing Public's responses here, but I have a list of equipment related to Republic's service in Broadwater County. Do you have any information about that? Do you remember helping with that, or did you produce anything to maybe Catherine or Lucas or Aaron? Mr. Frisella or Mr. Nicholson, related to that?
I don't recall anything, no.
Can you turn to Exhibit 4? Here. Oh,
Actually, that's ours, so we'll need yours.
That's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Exhibit 4, I'm specifically looking at page 8. So if you look at L&L number 7, equipment in Broadwater County, it says identify and describe the equipment Republic uses to provide Class D services within Broadwater County and to any service addresses, zip code of 59641, 643, 644, or 647. I think you can read the rest. And then there's, under answer, there's a lengthy list of equipment. Do you see that?
I do, yes.
Do you recognize this list of equipment? as something that you've seen before?
Not as it's laid out here, but I've seen a list of these vehicles, yes.
Okay. I want to look specifically at, if you could turn to page 14. Yeah, 15.
Okay.
There's a couple entries here that I just had some questions about. If you look where there's some receiver boxes and compactors starting on the second line there. You see that?
On page 15?
Yes.
Yes.
Are those, for instance, these numbers 489725, 489726, these receiver boxes, and then it says cannery flats. What does that mean?
That is a Vertipack in Bozeman.
Okay. Is Bozeman's not in Broadwater County, is it?
No.
Okay. And then below that, there's compactors for the Beaverhead condos. Where are those located?
Big Sky.
And then below, near the bottom of the page, compactor 602-710, the Cannery District. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Cannery District's in Bozeman, right?
Yes, it is.
Are any of the compactors listed here in Broadwater County?
On page 15, no.
What about page 16?
No.
17?
No. There are no names at the bottom last floor.
Sure, yeah, it starts the steel containers, and I'm just looking at the compactors. I'm sorry,
Okay,
Bruce.
no.
Okay. There are compactors the Republic does have compactors in Broadwater County, right?
Yes.
Where are they?
Wheat, Montana has one.
Any others that you could think of off the top of your head? I know I'm asking for something that you wouldn't necessarily have.
In another setting, I could probably answer that, but
Sure.
you put me on the spot here. I don't think so.
Okay. But do you see Wheat, Montana's compactor listed amongst the compactors provided in response to these data requests here? At least the part we talked about, we reviewed the pages.
No,
we
not on pages 15 through 18.
Okay, perfect. I have no further questions for this witness at this time.
Questions for commissioners, Commissioner Lucas?
Thank you, sir. So that 12 misses per 10,000 customers, 99+% success, is that a Republic statewide? Is that
That's for Bozeman.
for Bozeman? Okay. Do we have, I realize it's not a very large population, but do we have numbers for Broadwater?
That encompasses everything. That's all of the Bozeman Holland division.
Okay, so there's nothing more specific to this.
There is not, no.
Okay, thank you, sir.
That's all.
Thank you. Questions, and I have none. Would the public like to recross?
A very brief redirect, Mr. President. Let's see, two questions for you, Bruce. Can you turn back to exhibit 4? This is L&L's exhibit 4, page 8. So it's the beginning of the question.
Okay.
About equipment in Broadwater County. I'm just gonna read this to you and then I'm gonna ask you a question about it. But the question says, identify and describe the equipment Republic uses to provide Class D services within Broadwater County and to any service addresses within a zip code of, and then there's a list of zip codes. Just to make sure I've got this, the question that Republic appears to have answered here is not specific to Broadwater County, correct?
No, it's specific. Now that you read the question, it's to within Broadwater County.
Okay, and then there was some question about compactors that are currently located elsewhere. Could those compactors be used to service customers in Broadwater County?
They could be.
Okay. Does Republic move assets from, when I say assets, I mean equipment like compactors and roll-off boxes and garbage cans. Does it move its assets from customer to customer from time to time based on the needs of those customers and Republic's equipment needs?
Yes.
So it may be that different assets are used for different customers at different times. Correct. So just because at a certain date, a compactor is located at one area and described in this response as located in one area, does not mean it's necessarily there forever, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then the question about Wheat Montana's compactor, is it possible, I'm not asking you to speculate about Wheat Montana unless you happen to know. Do some customers purchase their own compactors?
Yes.
Okay, so it's possible that a compactor located at Wheat Montana could be theirs and not Republic's?
Could be.
Okay. I have no further questions, Mr. President.
Thank you. You may be excused
Permanently.
permanently. Yes,
Thank you, Mr. President.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Republic calls Catherine Bernhardt. And Ms. Bernhardt was sworn in
She
yesterday.
was sworn in yesterday.
Yes, Mr. President.
Good morning.
Morning, Catherine.
Morning.
Can you please state your full name and spell it for the record?
Yes, Catherine Bernhardt, Catherine, Bernhardt, Bernhardt.
Catherine, where do you live?
Missoula, Montana,
Missoula, Montana. And who is your employer in Missoula?
for public services,
Okay. How long have you worked for Republic?
right about 4 years.
Okay. What is your current job title for Republic?
General Manager of Western Montana.
Okay. And does that, make sure I got this right, is that a district, is that the correct description for Western Montana?
Yes.
Okay, so just for my reference purposes, I'll refer to it as a district for
That's fine.
ease. Does that Western Montana district include Broadwater County?
Yes.
Okay. Can you briefly describe your role and responsibilities for Republic?
Yeah, so leading and managing employees related to all aspects of our business, so operations, maintenance, sales, HR, finance.
Okay. You were here for Bruce's testimony a moment ago.
Yes.
Fair to say that while Bruce manages his polling district, you manage the greater Western Montana area.
Correct.
Okay. Do you agree with Bruce that Republic has made commitments to serve its customers in Broadwater County?
Yes.
How?
Having the resources and trained personnel readily available to service customers in market. Having kind of the sales support staff and general communication readily available in market as well.
Okay. Bruce described Republic, I think, as a large company with lots of resources. I'm paraphrasing. Why does that matter for an area like Broadwater County?
Of course, I think the needs of the counties and markets in which we operate change regularly, and so it allows us to be able to pull resources, personnel, equipment from other parts of the state and other parts of the nation at large to be able to service the changing needs of our customer base.
Okay. We talked on that point, you talked about changing in resources and needs. Thinking back earlier this morning, we heard a comment from a shipper that suggested there had been a change in sales personnel in this area, and that seems to have limited his ability to get in contact with public sales personnel. Is it fair to say that the public has personnel changes from time to time?
Yes,
Are you aware whether or not there was a personnel change for the sales representative in this area?
yes, she got promoted to a role in a different state.
Okay, was she replaced by another employee of Republic?
Yes,
Okay. Does that current employee maintain the same contact information as the prior employee for sales purposes?
yes, she does, as a means of trying to ease that transition to our customer base.
Okay, so the customer still has current contact information for Republic's current sales representative in his area?
Correct.
Were you, well, I think you were present for the discussion about census data earlier?
Yes,
Okay. If, just to confirm it, if 250 customers in Broadwater County called Republic tomorrow seeking both residential and commercial service, does Republic currently have the resources to provide that service in Broadwater County?
yes,
Okay. Do you agree with Bruce that it would be at most one residential truck and maybe one commercial truck?
yes,
Is that something you can support from your Western Montana district, even if Bruce didn't have the resources immediately in his Bozeman Holland district?
yes.
Okay. If you didn't have those resources in Western Montana, what would be the next place where Republic would be able to pull those resources from?
Next, we would look to pull from Eastern Montana, but we have other business units that operate that we could pull from in Idaho and other nearby states as well.
Okay. If all of those 250 customers call seeking residential and commercial, the most impact that could be tomorrow, is Republic committed to providing that service? Is it willing to provide that service to those customers?
Yes, very much so.
Catherine, I've got no further questions for you. Ellen and the Commission may go.
Thank you.
Ms. Garib, would you like to ask any questions?
Yes. Catherine, has Republic applied for a Class D authority in Jefferson County?
Objection well beyond the scope direct.
She's the general manager of Western Montana.
Yet
part
it's
of her
still beyond.
I'm sorry, I'm still talking. She's the general manager for Western Montana. It's part of her service area, or excuse me, her territory, part of the business unit, and she should be allowed to talk about it. It's relevant to these proceedings, and we should be permitted to ask her questions about her service territory.
If we might be allowed a brief response. If Ms. Garrett wanted to bring testimony on this issue, as is her choice as the applicant, she could have called any witness she chose during her case in chief. She did not call Catherine Bernard. She did not call any Republic witness or anybody else that could have testified to this, and that's her choice. But she can't now try to expand the scope of this discussion beyond what's already taken place.
And I would request that the commission allow some leeway, I think, to commissions, all these proceedings are investigative on the part of the commission. I think this information is relevant. We have unauthorized hauling by Republic that needs to be investigated and explored, and we should have the opportunity to do that here with Ms. Bernhardt. There's a public interest in doing so.
We're gonna allow this testimony, but doesn't necessarily mean that it pertains to the proceeding, or we will allow it. I mean, we'll consider it.
Catherine, the question was, has Republic applied for Class D authority in Jefferson County?
No.
And you're aware now that Republic is operating in Jefferson County, correct?
Yes, I am now.
And when were you made aware of that?
Throughout the course of this discovery period leading up to the hearing.
Do you recall exactly when?
Whenever L&L put it in writing that we were.
And Republic does not have any existing Class D authority in Jefferson County, correct?
Oh, correct, sorry.
No, that's okay. What steps have you taken to make sure that the shippers in Jefferson County currently receiving Class D services from Republic don't face any interruptions in that service?
Objection, well beyond the scope of direct.
And it's relevant to also our temporary operating authority
Which-
application. And
which-
so, I'm sorry,
I was still
you don't
working.
need to interrupt me.
I was still talking.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Republic has not protested L&L's application in Jefferson County. To the extent that it applies to Jefferson County, Republic has not protested that application, as Ms. Garrett has made
All
clear.
just got posted yesterday.
Sorry?
The notice was posted yesterday.
Republic has not protested L&L's permanent application, which has been noticed and posted for quite some time. It is not currently subject to dispute in this hearing. I don't understand how it is relevant if we're not protesting that issue.
Well, it is relevant to whether or not Republic is willing and able to provide the service in the proposed service area. There were statements yesterday that Republic has plans to have Julio Disposal serve these folks in Highlander Park subdivision. There were statements yesterday that they are planning to apply for temporary operating authority. And so that's what I'm exploring. There's no other witness that could testify to that other than Republic's witnesses.
I'm gonna rely on you.
Because this is not a court trial. Because it is a proceeding before the Montana Public Service Commission, which is a state agency. Because the agency does have investigative authority. The testimony will be allowed, but it does not mean that it will be considered or that it will ultimately be determined to be relevant to the application. I would caution Ms. Garrett as well that temporary operating applications or applications for temporary operating authority are typically determined based upon affidavits. They can be determined based upon other evidence, but I would advise that it is typically affidavits. No affidavits were attached to that temporary operating authority application. And the notice of application and protest deadline did get issued yesterday, and so Republic has not had an opportunity to protest that application. So given this odd procedural status, we'll allow it, but again, it may not ultimately be considered by the commission.
So Catherine, what steps have you taken to make sure that those folks in that Highlander Park subdivision don't face an interruption in service?
I myself have ensured that we are just continuing to service the customers themselves. I have not communicated to customers directly in any capacity.
So Republic hasn't notified those customers of the issue.
That's not what I'm saying, but I have not myself notified customers.
Okay, who has?
I don't know.
Has someone notified them?
Asked and answered. Sorry, objection, asked and answered.
I don't know. I don't know that she.
Overruled.
Sorry,
Has someone notified them?
I don't know directly.
Who would know?
Likely Brian Coffin.
And is he gonna be called back to testify about that?
I don't think I can answer that.
Okay. Let's see. Who is responsible for training Republic employees on the boundaries of Republic service area?
I guess it kind of depends on the Republic employees. It depends on, I guess, the role and the nature of job responsibilities for that direct employee and individual.
Well, let's talk about customer service representatives. Who is responsible for training customer service representatives on the boundaries of Republic service areas in Montana?
That is all led through the KMT. We don't do any direct training for our customer service representatives on how to interpret the KMT maps. Sorry, KMT is our knowledge management.
How does Republic verify that those CSRs actually understand the boundaries of Republic service areas in your division of Western Montana?
Objection, we have no foundation that Ms. Bernhardt is responsible for the CSRs. So if we can lay some foundation, that would be great.
Catherine, do you know, I'll withdraw the question. Catherine, do you know how Republic verifies that customer service representatives actually understand the boundaries of Republic service areas for your business unit in Western Montana?
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that question one more time?
How does Republic verify that customer service representatives actually understand the boundaries of Republic service areas in your business unit?
They undergo extensive training and onboarding, but I'm not responsible for that nor privy to what that looks like at the detail level.
Okay, who is responsible for that?
I don't know a direct name, but it would be someone within our customer resource center at a higher level.
Okay, you can't tell me who can answer that. Can you tell me someone here today who can?
I don't know for sure.
Is there a system in place to alert or to trigger some notification for existing Republic accounts that are beyond Republic's authorized service areas?
Not that I'm aware of, for existing customers.
We had a mapping issue in Granite County earlier this year, right?
Objection, I asked about two specific topics. One was operations, three specific topics. One was operations in Broadwater County. One was the contact information for a particular sales representative. And one was about census data. None of this pertains, and it is well beyond the scope of direct. Again, if Ms. Fair wants to call witnesses, she has the right to do so, but not during our case in chief.
And if I just could briefly respond, and certainly I'll abide by whatever the commission rules. I mean, Ms. Bernhardt is not the appropriate witness, is not the witness that Republic is going to cover this issue with. I'm happy to withdraw my questions about this matter. If they're not going to address this issue, however, I think we have to be able to talk about it here because I think it's relevant.
We'll allow it.
I'm sorry, Lisa, can you help me? We had a mapping issue in Granite County earlier this year, right?
Correct.
Was there some sort of audit after that of your whole business unit to analyze whether that problem existed in other parts of the service areas?
Yes.
And was this just missed or what happened there?
I can't speak to the full extent because most of that is done through our GIS mapping team. But that being said, I assume there was either an error or that those existing customers were just grandfathered into the system and that any adjustments to mapping boundaries would not have triggered anything, as I've already spoken to, for existing customer base.
Okay. Is someone from that GIS mapping team gonna testify for Republic here today?
No.
What can you explain about how this unauthorized service in Jefferson County happened for Republic?
From my understanding, I mean, I think that it seems like an error. That was a mistake, obviously, and we recognize the mistake. That's been here, was a mistake that was made far before my time. And that it seems like it was an error due to the fact that the locations in Jefferson County that are being serviced by Republic Services are Three Forks address. It was a simple mistake that we've worked to ensure that those customers don't receive a service interrupt due to the nature of the value of the service we're providing.
And so there's this contention about Three Forks addresses. My understanding is that the CSRs use a map, right? And so does the map have county boundaries on it?
Not necessarily, no.
Can you turn to Republic's, well, excuse me, it's gonna be L&L's Exhibit 5, or L&L's Exhibit 4.
Okay, what page?
That's a great question.
You're
fine.
Moving too fast here, sorry.
No, you're good. It's at the. It's the Republic map at AWS 1, and I don't have the exact AWS 1.
Am I in the L&L book or am I in the?
Yeah, in Exhibit 4, should be Exhibit 4.
Generally,
I can come find it.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, we're good. Sorry about that.
Oh, this one? AWS 1, I found it.
I wanna make sure that we have the other one as well, because there's 2 of them. Yeah, that's right. That's the first one. And then there's the second one. 59
And 53.
Yeah, 53 and 59 are the page numbers of Exhibit 4. Catherine, is on page 53 and 59, do you recognize those maps?
I recognize 59. I don't recognize 53.
What's the difference?
This one just looks more like a topographic map, whereas the 59 map shows kind of the blue highlighted zone of service versus the blackout zone of no service.
And are the counties designated on those maps?
It does look as so, yes.
Okay. And so when a CSR is maybe deciding whether Republic can service a new customer and they would enter the address, does it pop up on the map or how does that work?
Objection calls for speculation.
Do you know how CSRs take on new accounts, Catherine?
At a high level, when they receive a call, they look up an address in the map.
And so if someone from Three Forks, but it's in Jefferson County, is calling Republic to request service and their address is entered,
They would utilize the map as listed.
okay, and their address would presumably show up in Jefferson County if they're located in Jefferson County. Correct?
Yes.
What? Sorry about that. I believe that's all the questions I have for this witness at this time.
Questions from the commission?
No questions, sir.
No questions? Questions?
Briefly, Mr. President. Kevin, I just want to clarify one thing. When Republic learned about this service issue, I think I heard you say it took steps to address it. Is that an accurate characterization? One of those steps was contacting the current authorized hauler.
Correct.
Was that designed to protect the customer's need for garbage service?
Yes.
Okay. Did Republic also contact the Public Service Commission?
Yes.
Okay. And did it convey that this was anything other than a mistake?
No, it did not convey that
Sorry, that
this
was
was
a double
anything
negative.
other than a mistake.
Sorry, let me ask that more simply so it's clear. Was it simply a mistake?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Bernhardt, I have nothing else.
Thank you, Lucas.
Thank you. You may be excused.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, with that, the Republic rests its case in chief.
Before we get into the rebuttal, we can take a short break. Is 10:30 reasonable? It's a touch after, 20 after now. 10:35. We're good to
We're
go.
all good.
Call us back to order. The time is 10:36. Ms. Garrett, you may proceed with your rebuttal, please.
At this time, Eleanor calls Jeff Langford.
Alrighty, and was,
He's gonna be on soon.
okay, so he has not been sworn in yet.
He was sworn in yesterday.
He was sworn in yesterday.
And then I also am sending opposing counsel and commission a billing record from Mr. Langford of his invoices from at least costs associated with the public service to his location. I just got it, so.
Would it, is it just with the billing piece of it that you're waiting on, but the witness is ready to go?
I have those documents. I just am sending, I'm just trying to send that email so that everybody has it to refer to when he's testifying.
Jeff is online.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm trying to get that done at the same time. Okay.
Good.
I'll give them a chance to review it. You all should have gotten it as well.
Yep.
I can send it to you guys individually if you, I can't.
You sent it to my phone.
I don't have an email from you.
Oh, I just. You didn't get it, man.
Counsel, you can examine the witness without the exhibit and then submit it later. It will be similar to the exhibit that was introduced by the Republic today, in that it will be allowed, but not necessarily considered by the commission.
My understanding is that this exhibit was admitted.
Yeah, I we're on the same page.
I was like, wait, what?
I don't know if that matters, but
mean,
but at least we're on the same.
It's like the one time it's ever happened, right? No, I mean, it happens.
Counsel, who are you sending it to?
I sent it to P. Snyder Barnes at mt.gov and Katie shared. And
I got it just a minute ago.
Aaron.
Popped up.
I haven't gotten anything either.
I haven't been able to get on.
I wonder if it's our server.
Right.
I mean,
is that government? Is that government?
Can you send it to my phone?
Mhm.
406 270 6320.
Oh, I got it.
Okay, I just sent it to Commissioner.
Okay, and I'll send it to you if you go on my network.
I got it, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, I'm ready now. So apologies, everyone. Still no?
No, but I got kicked offline.
If the commission's comfortable with it, I mean, I think we understand what Ms. Garrett's trying to introduce. We've got a copy of it we can review. I'm not concerned if she
got
does
it.
admit it.
I got it here, I'm on.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, council.
council, you may proceed.
Thank you, Commissioner Wellborn. Jeff, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello again, Jeff. How are you?
good.
Okay. Jeff, can you tell me this document that you sent me? I don't want you to yet tell me what is in the document, but can you tell me what it is?
That is every payment to Republic Service with check numbers, dates, from 1/28/22 all the way to 12/8/24. You guys already have the other ones moving forward from that. So that's going back more than just the last little bit.
Okay, so, and this is a true and accurate copy of Outlaw Woodworks' billings and payments to Republic Services for that time period.
Yes, yep.
And at this time, we'd move admission of, I guess it would be L&L's Exhibit 8.
Objection.
Admitted.
Jeff, there was some testimony today from Republic's Municipal and Government Affairs Manager about the lack of variation in your bill amounts for the last 10 months. Looks like your bill for December of 2024 was $134.52. Is that correct?
Yes,
And that's $32 more than it was in February of 2025.
yes.
Looks like in June of 2024, your bill was $218.85. Is that right?
Yeah, 218.85 on 6/10/24. Yes.
Do you know why it was so high that month?
Possibly an overage. I'm unsure. I'd have to dig into a lot more records to go back and get it, but yeah, it's probably an overage fee.
Okay, so 218, looks like the highest billing amount was August of 2022, and that was $229.30. Is that right?
Yep.
Jeff, in your opinion, why do you think that the bill steadied out over the last 10 months?
To be honest, they probably knew they had this whole thing coming up and that this would probably
Objection,
come up
this is
in there.
speculation.
Sustained.
We'd move to strike that testimony.
I bet you do.
I have no further questions for this witness.
Do you guys wish to cross?
Just a couple of questions, Mr. President. Mr. Langford, this is Lucas Rosello with Republic Services. Just a couple of questions about the bill summary or the expense summary we're looking at here. Ms. Garrett called out a couple of those payments that you made that reflect payments in excess of $200. I think there's two
Yes.
that I can see on the summary here. If you look over to the date column associated with each payment, it looks like generally each payment was made about a month apart. Is that
Yes. Yep.
a fair characterization?
Yes.
Okay. Except when you got those payments that are in excess of $200, it looks like that covers a multi-month period. Is that correct?
That could be a possibility. Yes.
Well, okay, then let's look over. I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. So let's look over at the first one from August of 2022. The date before that is July 25, 2022. The following is 8/23/2022, and then it skips to 10/6/2022. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so we skipped the month of September. Is that correct?
There is a month skip there. Yes. So that it's a
Okay.
possibility that is paying for the ninth there, the ninth month. There is a possibility of that. Yes. I would say that's pretty accurate, and it's probably the same. It's probably the same on the other one that's 218, but there's still discrepancies up and down. I mean, take the two high ones out, you can still see there's a difference between the 134 and the 110. So,
Yep.
which is exactly what I was saying yesterday.
Thank you, Mr. Langford. I have no further questions.
Can I ask a question?
The commissioner is telling you no, Jeff.
Oh, okay. I'm not allowed to ask the commissioners or the attorneys a question.
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Okay.
Okay. So one question, sir.
Yeah,
If
we do have a question.
Okay, so
Oh, did we lose him?
He's already gone. Get him back.
I'll be brief.
It's back on.
Yes, we have a question from one of the commissioners.
Am I allowed to ask questions or are you guys only allowed to ask questions?
Not in this process. The question is coming from the commissioner to you.
Okay, I'll consider answering the question.
Thank you. So, may I ask a
Sir,
question?
sir, just so we're real clear on this, be careful, just think about reining in your comments. You can be held in contempt. Right. The question's coming your way.
Okay,
Okay, appreciate it. So most of them, on the bill, most of them were monthly and then some were multi-months. What was the reason for some being monthly and then the multi-month?
I would have to look that up. My guess is either mail was delayed, you know, in one bill combined with two. There's a probability that we may have been out of town and the bill came in and we didn't get it in time. There's multiple reasons, but I would have to go back, dig through our files to find that. This is just a copy that I can quickly get showing the checks that were printed in the amounts.
Well, those were the actual billing amounts. But there's one.
Yes, these are checks that were written to Republic Service with the date and the amount written.
Okay, thank you, sir. That's all.
Thank you. No further questions. Do you?
I have no further questions for Mr. Langford. Thank you, Jeff.
Well,
Thank
you're
you.
permanently excused. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Would you like to call your next witness?
LML has no further witnesses.
Okay. Would the parties like a brief recess before we move into closing arguments?
Republic's ready to close as soon as we hear this.
I would like a few minutes.
Yep. We can do that. 5 after, fair enough. That gives us 10 minutes. Call this into recess. The time is 10:55. Call us back to order. The time is 11:06. Do the parties wish to present a brief closing argument? First, I will give Ms. Garrett the opportunity.
Thank you, Commissioner Wilborn. Thank you, Ms. Barnes. Thank you, Commissioner Lukacek. Thank you, Ms. Lasowski. Thank you, Mr. Fasella, Ms. Nicholson, and Ms. Shu. Appreciate everyone taking time to talk about garbage here today. One of my favorite topics. We cannot reasonably continue to question L&L's fitness here. L&L has repeatedly demonstrated a track record of providing exemplary service at reasonable rates to the folks in Montana. 6 times over the last several years, 2007, 2011, 2015, 2018, 2022, and 2025. Just a couple months ago, this commission has found L&L to be fit. Even when the application is denied, this commission has found L&L to be a fit, willing, and able to provide the proposed service at issue. Here, we're talking about expansion of a limited expansion of a service area, not for pure profit, but because it makes business sense and because it will be in the public interest for Republic, the current monopoly provider in Broadwater County, to have competition. You heard direct evidence of need throughout this hearing. You heard the testimony of shipper witnesses about the prices that they have to pay, the high rates that Republic charges for service because they don't have competition in this small portion of Broadwater County. You just heard or just saw the high and variable costs of Republic service to Mr. Jeff Langford. Now, Mr. Langford might dispute the continued regulation of garbage in the state of Montana. He might have some things he wanted to say to the commission and disagree with, this regulation process, but that doesn't mean that he's not, it shouldn't affect the weight that the commission places on his testimony, particularly when he's willing to come back here and demonstrate that, look, this second largest waste hauler in the country is trying to show you part of a picture so that you think he's a liar. They say that they care about these people, but they show you a piece of the record. That's what they think about this commission. That's what Republic thinks about this commission. You have indirect evidence of need. You have the commission has taken administrative notice of the increase in population in just that Wheatland area. You have the resolutions and the ordinance from the Broadwater County Commission establishing the Wheatland Targeted Economic Development District. That area right around 90 in Broadwater County, they need another service provider for garbage. They have one option now, and the rates are all over the place, but they don't go low, they stay high for Republic. And the commission should view the scant evidence that Republic did put on here with distrust based on what you've seen here today. The inability to meet the need. Now, there should be no question that the second largest waste hauler in the United States should be able to put the resources forth to meet the existing need. But without competition here, they're just too big to care. making the same mistake over and over again, or at least twice here, is something other than an honest mistake. It might be sloppy, it might not be evil. We don't have to say that they're bad people or impute ill motives to Republic here, but they are too big to care. It's too big to matter to them. This tiny little area in Jefferson County, this subdivision, with 17 houses that they're serving without authorization from this commission, they just don't care. They're gonna keep doing it. And so there's a need for competition, there's need for an additional carrier. And we would ask that the commission approve L&L's application for portions of Broadwater County and Jefferson County. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Garrett. Republic, would you like to present your closing arguments?
Thank you, President Wellborn, Commissioner Dr. Bukacek, Commission staff, Ms. Garrett. Thank you all for taking the time to hear this matter and learn the facts and the issues that have been raised by L&L's application. When we began this hearing yesterday, Mr. Nicholson raised an important point, and that is the burden of proof in this matter is squarely on the applicant. L&L has to show by a preponderance of the evidence that it meets each and every one of the 4 elements of the commission's standard. If the evidence is in Republic's favor or even tied on just one element, the application must be denied. After considering the minimal evidence that L&L put on, I respectfully offer that it's failed to prove any of the elements for Broadwater County, much less all of them. When it comes to the applicant's fitness, the evidence points to a conclusion that L&L is just trying to wing it. It doesn't really have a plan for serving this territory it's requested. And to be clear, I don't mean just a written business plan. I mean any sort of plan. We heard L&L's owner say that he had not evaluated how many potential customers it might serve in the area. So while he feels confident that L&L can serve them, that confidence is not backed up by the kind of critical thought that's necessary to determine whether or not it's true. You heard L&L's general manager, the person who would be supervising their operations in this territory, tell you that he panicked when he learned about L&L's application. I can appreciate that feeling of panic because even though L&L has apparently been considering service in this area for 10 years, its general manager only learned about L&L's application in the last couple of weeks. These are not the calling cards of a well-prepared hauler, and they are not indicative of an applicant that's fit to serve a territory, even if it has been found fit to serve other different territories in the past. The commission has repeatedly warned L&L about relying on prior fitness findings, and it should not relax its standard now. The evidence on public need was even slimmer. Let's take stock of the facts. The census told us that in Broadwater County, the population has grown by 1,100 people between 2010 and 2020, and that about 500 of those people moved into the Wheatland area. Consequently, L&L is asking you to consider the impact of around 125 homes over the course of a decade. That's an average of 12 to 13 homes in Wheatland each year. You heard testimony from Jim Eberhard and Mr. Jeff Langford, and the claims by those gentlemen typify the garden variety complaints the commission has long held are not evidence of need. Mr. Langford's testimony regarding irregular bills turns out to refer to recent fluctuations of about $1 a month after a substantial decrease in his bill. Mr. Eberhard's testimony addresses isolated instances of a single commercial customer in a different county, not Broadwater County. L&L's own witnesses gave positive reviews of Republic's normal driver in this area, Mr. Jamie Gee. You heard nothing from L&L about its unmet need from the additional population in Wheatland or elsewhere in Broadwater County. The most we heard was the testimony of a single commercial customer, Mr. Langford. And again, he was frustrated about irregularities, but after his expenses decreased, they don't stay high, as Ms. Garrett indicated. While any shipper's input can be relevant to the commission, this shipper's concerns are garden variety complaints, and the commission should properly set them aside. You heard from Republic that it is successful over 99.8% of the time, and the last 0.2% includes times when the customers fail to put out their own trash. To the extent that Broadwater County's needs grow in the future, Republic has the resources to meet those needs. It's willing to do so, and it has the ability to call on other nearby affiliates for assistance when necessary. Lastly, L&L's not met its burden to prove that the new service can serve a useful public purpose without endangering or impairing operations of existing carriers contrary to the public interest. L&L seems to want the commission to believe that Republic is a big company which can't be harmed by a grant of this application. Look, no one disputes that Republic is a big company. But L&L has failed to address, however, what effect the grant of this application would have on the operations of Republic. It's failed to address what effect it would have in this proposed service area. It's failed to address what effect it would have outside of this proposed service area. And of course, it's failed to address those points because it doesn't even know what it plans to do in this area, much less how that might affect the haulers. You heard Mr. Nicholson tell you yesterday that this hearing goes to the heart of why the commission regulates the waste hauling industry in the first place. And before this hearing ends, I want to echo that thought. The commission regulates Montana's garbage industry for the good of the public, especially those people who live in rural, remote, and hard to reach areas, which may not otherwise be capable of receiving garbage service. L&L's application may serve its own needs, but it's not clear that it's on the proper prior planning to know if that's true. Even if it had been properly supported at the hearing, however, L&L's application would add unnecessary risk for the rural residents of Broadwater County, which count on the commission to look out for their public needs instead of L&L's private one. One final thought, and that's regarding Jefferson County. Republic has not protested L&L's application regarding Jefferson County. I note, however, that all of the same points I just made about Broadwater County also apply to Jefferson County. No hauler should get a free pass from the commission when they fail to meet the commission's standard. The only evidence of need in Jefferson County came from a single residential customer, Ms. Shirai Ireland. And L&L put on no evidence that Ms. Ireland cannot receive service from an authorized hauler. Thus, regardless of whether Republic has protested the application or that portion of the application, it's clear that L&L has not met its burden of proof. For these reasons and based on the evidence you've heard at this hearing, Republic respectfully requests that the commission deny L&L's application for a Class D certificate. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now move off the record for a brief scheduling conference. The time is 11:19. Just take the time you need and we'll reconvene when you're through with your scheduling conference.
Okay, council, we're issued and ready. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we can bring this back on.
Now, do you need to read the results of the scheduling conference? If you just-
Yes.
so it's on- Okay. And then we'll put a comment out of that. Okay.
So I would. Just go through this.
We're back on the record. The 11:22 a.m. The results of the scheduling conference will now be read into the record by our staff attorney Pamela Snyder Barnes as an order of the Public Service Commission, and no separate scheduling order will be issued.
So the scheduling order will be as follows, for post-hearing briefing. Upon receipt of the transcript, notice of which will be issued by the commission. L&L will have 20 days to submit a post-hearing brief. Republic will have 20 days after that to file its response. And then Republic will have 10 days to file a reply if it so chooses.
L&L.
What did I say?
You said Republic,
I'm
but
so sorry.
I almost said
L&L
Republic a couple
will have the
times.
ability to file a reply within 10 days of the response by Republic. And after that, the commission will issue its decision.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for your time the last couple of days. This evidentiary hearing is now closed, and the final public comment period is now open. Are there any commenters in the room? Seeing none, are there any online? Meeting introduced. Seeing no further public comment, we will now close the hearing. Anyone wishing to follow the outcome of this matter may follow docket number 2025.01.012 on the commission's online ready portal, or they can comment, or they can contact the commission directly at 1-800-646-6150, or our email at pschelp@mt.gov with any questions about accessing the portal or subscribing to notices of filings. Again, we all want to collectively thank everyone who participated in this manner. The time is 11:24 a.m. and the hearing is now adjourned.
Thank you all very much.